Hey you guys, I told you that I would be coming back with some Eau Claire stories. So let's go ahead and start with 1983 is when I entered the halls of Eau Claire High School. I was a freshman and pretty much I moved there probably, I think it was in the summer. Well, we moved to the neighborhood Hollywood Hills in the summer of me going to the 8th grade. So I was able to meet some friends and it wasn't too bad, the transition. Like I told y'all before, that we had just moved from the manor, Latimer Manor, and prior to that, I was supposed to go to AC Flora because I lived in Henley Homes. I told you we moved around a lot. So, like I said, I met some people. My best friend, Charlene. Hey, Leonie. I'm going to have her on too, y'all, and she is funny. I'm going to have her on at another time. But my best friend from 8th grade, Charlene, where she goes by Leonie. So, it wasn't so bad. Like I said, by the time I got to Eau Claire, because I had went to Alcorn in 8th grade, met a whole bunch of people, and from there, got to Eau Claire, and I was a cheerleader from the 8th grade and transitioned on to the 9th grade. And when I got there, it was fun. It really was really fun at Eau Claire. I was a cheerleader, and I also won Miss Freshman. And so it's a story about this guy. I'm not going to say his name, but I was a freshman and we took PE together. And I've always been 5'6" is my height, 5'6", 5'7", that's my height. And this guy here, he was shorter than me. So he was crazy about me. Like he was in, I never knew him. I met him in the 9th grade. And so we took gym together. And from that point on, it's like he was obsessed with me in a way to where I was his possession or something like that. He got mad when other guys would look at me or anything like that. And I just thought he was just so cute because, like I said, he was smaller than me to be in the 9th grade, So, but shout out to you. You know who you are. And from that point on, like I said, it was just a blast at Eau Claire. So let's fast forward to 10th grade. I had a boyfriend. He was just a boyfriend. That's all it was. It was nothing other going on, other things going on. We shared algebra, a book together. And, I think we might have kissed one time and that was it. But he was like my boyfriend in 10th grade. And that was that. Like I said, I was still a virgin. And I hadn't met my first love until, later on. So anyway, it ain't really a whole lot to tell as far as my 9th and 10th grade years. So let's just fast forward a little bit because, I was a pretty popular girl, but I never was fast. I didn't date a lot of guys, and I was always into my studies, and I was always into doing things. Like I said, I was a cheerleader from my 9th grade all the way up to my junior year. So I used to hang around with one of my male best friends. His name was Sean Roach. And so we just had so much fun together, him and I. We used to cut up, and he just was an all-around well guy, like my brother. He was just sweet. You saw him, you saw me. And, he pretty much was on the wild side, but it was all with fun and games. And we just had so much fun, summertime, and just having a good time at Eau Claire. So I'm moving right along. So this one story I want to tell y'all. Okay, now keep in mind now, these stories that I'm telling y'all go way back to 1983, 83, 84, 85, 86. Now, you do the math on that. That's well over 35 years. So, but anyway, I had a neighbor of mine, and God rest her soul, she's not with us anymore, when I lived in Hollywood Hills. When I used to be at home, I had chores to do, of course. So I used to have to hang up clothes on the line in the backyard because we didn't have a dryer. I think we might have had a washing machine, but we didn't have a dryer. So I would have to go out the door and hang up clothes. So in the air, I would smell the aroma of they used to call it, well, it was marijuana back then. So my neighbor and her brothers used to have it in the air, and I used to catch a contact from that. And when I said catch a contact, I used to like laugh, because you know the smell of it. And like I said, you catch contacts now, because I sure did catch some contacts. Okay. So like I said, it was in the air, and I used to laugh all the time because it gave me like a little buzz. So like I said, she was my neighbor. She was a little bit older than me, but she was just a real cool girl. Like I really looked up to her because she was beautiful, and I used to admire her a lot. So when I used to see her, she would be walking up and down, you know, the street sometimes, and I would speak to her and wave to her and stuff like that. And just one day we were talking, and she was asking me, you know, how was school going, all this, that, and other, and third. So she had like a marijuana joint in her hand. So she was like, "You want to try it?" So, you know, I'm like, okay, let's see. Let me, I'm trying to be all grown or whatever. So I tried marijuana for the first time, y'all. And this was like in the, probably it was in the summer of going to my junior year. That's when it was when I tried marijuana. And so I love that feeling because, like I say, I used to like to laugh, but it made me laugh and just, oh, it was just amazing because, like I said, she used to smoke all the time. And so that was my first experience with marijuana. So, like I said, y'all keep in mind, these stories go way back. This is over 35 years ago now, so ain't nothing new going on with that. So after all that had happened, so sometimes in the mornings she would get ready for work. And so, you know, my mom used to have to be to work like at 7 o'clock in the morning. So she wouldn't know what was going on. So my neighbor, she would be out there in the morning, warming up her car, getting ready, and I would be getting ready for school. So she was like, I got a marijuana. You want to hit it? I was like, yeah. So I would actually smoke a little bit of the marijuana, y'all. Oh my God. I know that sounds bad. And a lot of people didn't know this about me back then. And so I used to go to school kind of high. Sometimes, not all the time. It was just, you know, like I said, I still did my work. I made good grades still. And so I had this friend of mine. I don't know if I was in the 11th grade or 12th grade. I can't really remember. So, you know how when you smoke, you used to have the munchies. So I was in my record keeping class, and so the teacher is Miss Green. I don't know if she's living or dead. I don't know if she is or not. So one of my friends who was in that class with me, she used to come to school every morning with these good sausage sandwiches. So she used to be like my savior because I was hungry, because after you smoke, you know, you get hungry. For the weed smokers back then, I used to get hungry. So every morning, not every morning, but sometimes she would, when she had the sausage sandwiches, I would purchase a sausage sandwich from her. And so I don't remember how much it cost. I think I gave her like $1, maybe 50 cents, but she know who she is because her and I laughed about this just recently, and I know she got some good money off of me with them sandwiches, okay? But anyway, like I said, it was just all fun and games. You know, like I said, that was my little experience with the marijuana. It's some other little stories too, but I ain't gonna go into all that part or whatever. But fast forward, like I said, I was a cheerleader. And so this was one story too. It was like everything happened pretty much the summer of me going to my junior year, because I was hanging out with one of my best friends from high school, Sheila. And so she was dating this guy named Richard. And then we all went back to Sheila's house, and it was a guy named James, and I think Dominic. He was also involved with the story I'm about to tell. Dominic lived right next door to Sheila. And so me, James, Richard, Sheila, all of us hanging out. And so Dominic parents or his mom or whomever had some moonshine. So I drunk some moonshine, y'all. Oh my God. And why did I do that? It took me to another world, to where I was drunk. I didn't even know where I was, what I was doing. And, you know, I could have gotten alcohol poisoning at the time. But my friend Sheila, she did take care of me. And, you know, like I said, the guys were real respectful. James, shout out to you. And they took care of me. And so they took me back to Richard's apartment where he lived with his mom and let me sleep it off. So they had to call my mama and let her know that I was drinking because they didn't know what else to do because I was drunk. So from that point on, my mom, they came and got me. And so I was sick, you know, of course, sick. And that was just so awful. It was like a bad experience for me. That's why I don't like drinking now. You might see me drink that wine when I drink it, but I don't really drink like that. If I do drink, it's to be sociable. But I really don't like drinking because of the experience with the ex-husband too. But like I said, I got home back then and I was on the back porch, sick as a dog. And my mom, she was very disappointed in me, you know, what I did, because I'm normally not a follower. I'm more of a leader. I've never followed anybody because anybody that knows me, like while I was in school, I've always been like a leader role, cheerleader, captain of the cheerleaders, captain of the volleyball team. I've always been a leader in that type of role. But like I said before, those are just some of the stories. It's plenty more I can tell, but I just wanted to give a little bit of that. And like I said, those were my Eau Claire high school days. But I'll be back with some more stories, y'all. Make sure you like my video and send me some stars. Thank you.